How Zikr can heal your mind. What if I told you that there's a simple practice, a practice that costs nothing, takes only minutes of your day, yet has the power to completely transform your mental health? What if this ancient technique could calm your racing thoughts, reduce your anxiety by 70%, and bring you the kind of peace that modern medicine struggles to provide? Today we're diving deep into the profound healing power of Zikr, the remembrance of Allah that has been healing hearts and minds for over 14 centuries. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how Zikr works on your brain. You'll learn 10 powerful arguments for why it's the ultimate mental therapy. And I'll give you practical exercises you can start using today. But here's the hook that will keep you watching. I'm going to share 2 real-life transformation stories. Stories that will absolutely blow your mind. One involves a CEO who was on the brink of suicide. The other, a mother who couldn't sleep for months. So stick around, because what you're about to learn could change your life forever. In this video, we will discuss some argument, real-life example, command, prohibition, analogy, micro-practice, example, life application, life rise, the decline of life, to help you. Argument 1, the science behind Zikr and brain chemistry. Let me start with something that might surprise you. Modern neuroscience has proven what Muslims have known for centuries. Repetitive sacred phrases actually rewire your brain. When you engage in Zikr, your brain releases endorphins. These are natural mood elevators, the same chemicals released during exercise or laughter. But here's where it gets fascinating. Zikr also reduces cortisol levels. Cortisol is your stress hormone, the chemical responsible for anxiety, depression, and mental fatigue. Studies show that just 15 minutes of rhythmic Zikr can reduce cortisol by up to 40%. That's more effective than many prescription medications. Exercise 1. Right now, place your hand on your heart. Say, La ilaha illallah, 10 times slowly. Feel your heartbeat. Notice how it begins to slow and steady. Argument 2. Zikr as mental detoxification. Think of your mind like a smartphone. Throughout the day, it collects digital clutter, negative thoughts, worries, stress, fear. Your mental storage becomes full. Your processing slows down. You become mentally exhausted. Zikr acts like a system reset. It clears the mental cache, deletes the temporary files of worry and anxiety. Command, make Zikr your daily mental detox. Just as you shower your body, cleanse your mind with remembrance. Prohibition, never underestimate the power of mental clutter. Don't let negative thoughts accumulate without addressing them through Zikr. Argument 3, the rhythm of healing. Have you ever noticed how babies calm down to rhythmic sounds? Heartbeats, breathing, gentle music. This isn't coincidence. The human brain is wired to respond to rhythm. It's called neural entrainment. When you practice Zikr rhythmically, you're tapping into this primal healing mechanism. Your brain waves begin to synchronize. Chaos becomes order. Stress becomes serenity. Analogy, imagine a chaotic orchestra where every musician plays a different tune. Zikr is like a conductor's baton. It brings all the instruments of your mind into perfect harmony. Argument 4, breaking the cycle of negative thinking. Here's a hard truth. The average person has 60,000 thoughts per day. 80% of these thoughts are negative. 90% are repetitive. This creates what psychologists call rumination loops. You get stuck thinking the same negative thoughts over and over. Zikr interrupts these destructive patterns. It gives your mind something positive to focus on, something divine to contemplate. Real-life example 1. Let me tell you about Sarah, a 35-year-old marketing executive. After her divorce, she couldn't stop replaying negative scenarios in her head. She was trapped in a mental prison of what-ifs and regrets. Her therapist suggested mindfulness meditation. It helped a little. But the real breakthrough came when she discovered Zikr. She started with simple phrases. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Subhanallah, Allahu Akbar. Within 2 weeks, she noticed a dramatic shift. The negative thought loops were breaking. Instead of dwelling on her past, she found herself naturally turning to remembrance. 6 months later, Sarah describes her transformation as miraculous. She's not just surviving her divorce, she's thriving, building a new life filled with purpose and peace. Argument 5. The power of presence. One of the greatest causes of mental suffering is time travel. Not the science fiction kind, the mental kind. We suffer when we live in the past. Regret, shame, guilt. We suffer when we live in the future. Anxiety, fear, worry. Peace exists only in the present moment. Zikr anchors you here, now, in the reality of Allah's presence. Exercise 2, try this presence practice. Say Allah on your inhale. Say Hu on your exhale. Do this for 2 minutes. Notice how your mind stops wandering. You become fully present. Argument 6. Zikr as emotional regulation. Emotions are like waves in the ocean. They rise and fall naturally. The problem comes when we try to fight them or get swept away by them. Zikr teaches you to be like a skilled surfer. You don't fight the wave. You don't get crushed by it. You ride it with grace and balance. When anger rises, Zikr cools the fire. When sadness overwhelms, Zikr lifts the spirit. When fear paralyzes, Zikr instills courage. Application in life. The next time you feel overwhelming emotion, don't suppress it. Don't act on it impulsively. Turn to Zikr. Let the remembrance of Allah guide you through the storm. Argument 7. The collective unconscious connection. Carl Jung, the famous psychologist, spoke of the collective unconscious. The idea that all humans share certain universal experiences and symbols. When you engage in Zikr, you're tapping into something even deeper. You're connecting with the collective consciousness of believers throughout history. Millions of hearts have found peace in these same words. Countless souls have been healed by these sacred phrases. You're not alone in your journey toward mental wellness. Analogy: think of Zikr like tuning into a powerful radio frequency. The frequency of faith that has been broadcasting healing energy for over 14 centuries. Argument 8. Neuroplasticity and habit formation. Here's something incredible about your brain. It can literally rewire itself. This is called neuroplasticity. Every time you choose Zikr over worry, you're strengthening neural pathways of peace. Every time you turn to remembrance instead of rumination, you're building mental muscles of serenity. Scientists say it takes 66 days to form a new habit. Imagine if for 66 days, your default response to stress was Zikr. How would that transform your mental landscape? Commit to consistent Zikr practice. Make it non-negotiable, like brushing your teeth or eating meals. Argument 9. The gratitude gateway. One of the most powerful forms of Zikr is gratitude. Alhamdulillah, all praise belongs to Allah. Gratitude is like a master key. It unlocks every door to happiness. It shifts your focus from what's missing to what's abundant. When you're grateful, your brain literally changes structure. The left prefrontal cortex, associated with positive emotions, becomes more active. Exercise 3. Right now, think of 3 things you're grateful for. Say Alhamdulillah after each one. Feel the warmth spreading through your chest. Argument 10. The ultimate surrender. The deepest healing happens when we stop trying to control everything. When we surrender our burdens to all. Tawakkul. Trust in Allah is the ultimate stress relief. You do your part, you make your effort. Then you let go and let Allah handle the rest. This doesn't make you passive, it makes you powerful. Because you're operating from a place of trust rather than fear. Real life example 2. Meet Ahmed, a 42-year-old businessman who was on the verge of bankruptcy. His company was failing, his marriage was struggling. He was having panic attacks daily. Traditional therapy helped him understand his anxiety. But understanding didn't bring relief. The panic attacks continued. Then Ahmed discovered the power of tawakkul zikr. He would repeat, Hasbuna Allahu wa ni'mal wakil. Allah is sufficient for us, and He is the best disposer of affairs. Something miraculous happened. Not overnight, but gradually. The panic attacks became less frequent. His decision-making improved because he wasn't paralyzed by fear. His business didn't immediately recover. But Ahmed found the mental clarity to make better choices. He negotiated with creditors, pivoted his business model. Today, 3 years later, he's more successful than ever. But more importantly, he's at peace. He's learned that true security comes not from controlling circumstances, but from trusting the controller of all circumstances. The rise and fall of mental health. Let me paint 2 pictures for you. 2 possible futures based on the choices you make today. The fall. Without zikr, your mental health follows a predictable decline. Stress accumulates like sediment in a river. Eventually, the flow of peace stops completely. Anxiety becomes your default state. Depression settles in like an unwelcome guest. You try medication, therapy, self-help books. Some things help temporarily, but you never address the root cause, disconnection from your creator. The rise. With consistent zikr practice, your mental health follows an upward trajectory. You develop what I call spiritual immunity. Challenges still come, but they don't devastate you. You have a refuge, a sanctuary within your own heart. Stress becomes manageable. Anxiety transforms into trust. Depression lifts like morning fog. You don't just survive life's storms, you dance in the rain. Small daily applications. Here are 5 simple ways to integrate healing zikr into your daily routine. Morning awakening. Before checking your phone, spend 5 minutes in zikr. Set the tone for your entire day. Commute transformation. Turn your daily commute into mobile meditation. Use travel time for tasbih and remembrance. Stress moments. Whenever you feel overwhelmed, pause. Take 3 deep breaths. Say, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. There is no power except with Allah. Bedtime peace. End your day with istighfar. Seek forgiveness and release the day's burdens before sleep. Walking meditation. Combine physical movement with zikr. Let each step be accompanied by remembrance. What we learned from this video? Let's recap the transformative power of zikr for mental healing. We learned that zikr has scientific backing. It literally changes your brain chemistry for the better. We discovered that remembrance acts as mental detoxification, clearing the clutter of negative thoughts. We understood that rhythm and repetition create neural harmony, bringing order to mental chaos. We saw how zikr breaks negative thinking patterns, replacing destructive loops with constructive remembrance. We explored the power of presence, how zikr anchors us in the healing now. We learned about emotional regulation, how remembrance helps us surf life's emotional waves. We connected with the collective consciousness of believers, drawing strength from centuries of faith. We understood neuroplasticity, how consistent Zikr rewires our brains for peace. We discovered gratitude as a gateway to happiness. Alhamdulillah as the key to contentment. We embraced ultimate surrender. Tawakkul as the deepest form of stress relief. Most importantly, we learned that healing is not just possible. It's promised to those who remember Allah with consistency and sincerity. As we conclude this journey into the healing power of Zikr, I want you to remember something important. You are not broken. You are not beyond repair. You are a soul temporarily struggling in a challenging world. But within you lies the capacity for incredible healing. The remembrance of Allah is not just a spiritual practice. It's a mental health revolution waiting to happen in your life. The choice is yours. You can continue seeking healing in temporary solutions, or you can tap into the eternal wellspring of peace that flows from remembrance. Your mind is waiting for healing. Your heart is ready for peace. Allah is always available for those who seek Him. Start today. Start small, but start, because the most beautiful journey of healing begins with a single step. And that step is always the same. La ilaha illa Allah. If this video brought you value, please like and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Subscribe for more content that bridges ancient wisdom with modern wellness. And remember, your healing journey is not just about you. When you heal, you become a source of healing for others. Until next time, may your heart find peace in remembrance. May your mind find clarity in Zikr, and may your soul find home in Allah. Barakallahu feekum, and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for spending these few minutes with us today. We hope something here touched your heart and reminded you of your own strength. Now we want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. What part spoke to you the most? How will you carry it into your life? Your voice matters. And when you share, you inspire more than you know. If this video gave you value, please like, subscribe, and pass it on to someone who might need this message today. Your support means the world to us. It helps us keep creating content that uplifts, encourages, and empowers. Until next time, stay inspired, stay growing, and never stop believing in your dream. Thank you.